Well, good morning, everybody. It is Thursday morning, and we would like to welcome everybody here. It's raining again. Mike Rennick is first on. Boy, Mike. Good morning, Mike. How are things going over there? I know you've had some stormy weather too, right? Yeah, it's not stormy, it's just rainy here. There are some storms in the area, but not necessarily here. Hey, JD, how you doing? Yep. So I hit the like button down there just for the grin of it. Yeah, so as you can see from my ship cam or river cam, it's just kind of weather, a little bit windy coming out of the northeast. Here comes Justin out on the road again. Good morning, Justin.
I was on my live just talking until you decided to go live. Oh, it was hilarious over there because yesterday I was on my way home, right? And I was on the live and I was going to look at the chat and I accidentally timed Mike out and then took his wrench from him, Night Train.
Yeah.
And so he's on there today talking about JD's like, because everybody knows he's going in for shoulder surgery. But JD's in the chat over on my live talking about, yeah, that was really crazy yesterday. He goes, Justin wrote in the chat about something about get this crippled mofo out of here and block Mike. Well, what happened was I was going to press his name and I hit a bump and I fucking accidentally timed him out.
That's funny. That's funny.
Now they're doing a class action lawsuit against me for defamation. Because apparently I was on elderly handicapped people.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. So how's the weather down there?
It is 85 right now. It's supposed to be, they said it's supposed to fill anywhere between 103 and 110 today.
Wow. Well, it's 80 degrees here, but it's raining. So.
Well, that's just the heat index though for today. So I don't know.
Yeah, you know, it's definitely is hot where you are, and it's hot here for the above normal. Let's put it that way. Paul Hodges is out driving the bus, I believe. He probably is just getting back to the yard now, and then he'll be heading, I'm sure, to Timmy Hortons. And unless he's got some other plans, he should be joining us probably in the next 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, I went ahead and got the StreamYard subscription this morning for $20 a month.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because I didn't want to go with Zoom, only because when I'm out and about and I want to jump on the live while my printer's going, I can't see the fucking chat, so I had to go with StreamYard.
Yeah.
Because that way I have full control of everything. But it works okay. It doesn't bother me. I'd rather have Zoom only because it has better features, but.
Good morning, Stella's in the chat.
But it's not like I could pull the chat up on my phone because when you go to YouTube through a browser, it doesn't let you look at the chats on live stream.
Stella says, oh, and Justin, you have Night Train message on screen saying you are an abuser.
Yeah. I left it up there. So,
yeah. Flying with Stan is here. How you doing, Stan?
What's up, Stan?
That's funny. Mike probably doesn't like that.
Oh, he was over there with JD. They were just cutting into me about that yesterday. He was like, I got PTSD now and all this other stuff. And
that's funny. Mike Rennick says, hot day in Wisconsin again, 90-ish.
High everywhere today, it seems like.
Yep.
Because like I said, the heat index for Florida, where I'm at today, is supposed to be 103 to 110. Granted, that's not the actual temperature, but with the humidity and everything else, it's supposed to feel like that.
Right.
Yesterday was bad, man. My air conditioner at the house was struggling. Like when I got home last night, it was like 75 in the house. And usually it's around 71, 70. So it was struggling a little bit yesterday. Sarah went in there and cleaned it all out and put a new filter in there when she got home yesterday.
Yeah, there's not much going on. I just was over on the other computer looking at the Teeny Martini bar, and there's nobody there that I can see. But it is really nice and clear there, and it's not too windy, just a little bit of a little puff of wind.
Yeah, it's nice and clear here too. It's not windy or anything. It's gonna get hot. Because I mean, it ain't but what 10 o'clock and it's already 85 degrees. I think it's 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
it's already 85. Midday is gonna get hot. Because even my air conditioner in my truck struggles a little bit when it gets really, really hot. Like if I stop, it will start warming up a little bit. But as long as I'm driving, it will stay nice and cold. But if I sit for more than like 10, 15 minutes, then you can feel that it's not as cold as when I'm driving.
Yep,
Hopefully this will be my last week of meter reading. So, because they got some people coming in tomorrow to help finish it up. So plus they gave us a month extension on it. So we're just trying to get it done as quick as possible now. They got people coming in to do it. I'm ready for that because I'm sick of these long weeks. I would love to do 410s a week because that's the thing is the techs in other parts of the state that work for FPU, they get to do 410s. I'm the only one that has to do 5/8. They get 410s and 3 days off. I wish I could do that. I would love to have a 3-day weekend every week.
Well, I think there's going to be more and more people or companies that if they can work that in, they're probably going to go to 4-day work weeks. I don't. My only thought is, having been in on both ends of the spectrum, as far as upper management, is how much productivity do you get those extra 2 hours a day? Unless they're already working to 10s or more. But I mean, if you take an employee that does an 8-hour shift and you add 2 more hours of them, the curve has got to go down as far as productivity for those 2 hours. I don't know what the statistics are, but in my mind, that's my thought.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, honestly.
I'm sure somebody has done a study,
I'm sure there's something out there about that.
They study everything anymore.
Like I said, I would love to be able to do 410s. That'd be nice. It'd be nice to have 3 days off every week and still be getting your 40 hours. Because I don't mind doing 10-hour shifts. It's just doing 5 in a row every week for the past month or so.
Yeah.
It's just it's tiring doing 5 of them, but I could handle doing 4 every week. It's like right now it's only Thursday, and like literally when I clock in the morning tomorrow, I'll be in straight overtime as soon as I clock in. And then last Friday,
I know that Ron has been working a lot of overtime and a lot of extra stuff, and
Ron makes really good money too.
Well, you know what, he kind of intimated to me that he almost makes $100 an hour when he's working overtime, odd times, travel time, and you know, all that.
But you know what the good thing about Ron though is, one, he's in a location where the cost of living is super low, and he has a really good job. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
Because when you live in an area like Ron does, where the cost of living is super low, it's not the easiest thing to find a really good paying job like that.
Oh yeah. But you know, with his experience and everything, sadly, there's a air medic openings much closer to his home that he used to work for, and then he moved up to bigger time, you know. But they have a policy, they will not rehire anybody, even if you're left under good terms.
That's their own stupidity, because there's only so many people that do that job.
Yep, exactly. And I don't get it. You know, whoever's running that company is an idiot, but hey.
Yeah, I mean, I understand, like, if Ron walked out one day and was just like, screw you, and quit.
Never showed up.
Yeah, and left them dry and high. That I understand if this company doesn't want to rehire you. But if you gave your 2 more weeks or a month notice and you did everything the right way, then it shouldn't matter at that point.
Well, just knowing Ron's personality, you know that's the case. You know that he's not going to ever leave anybody high and dry. And
well, especially not a medic job. I mean, because you could really, you know, hurt a crew by walking out and quitting like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You could throw a whole state. I mean, he could throw an entire state, you know, medical like schedule off.
Hang on, I got somebody at the door.
You know what I'm saying, guys? Because like, you know, an entire state schedules around those helicopters. They only have so many in one area. If Ron was to walk out and quit, I mean, that could screw up a whole state schedule on which aircraft they have available and all that other stuff. That's crazy. The feds? Feds are at the door.
It's my tenant, you know, being summertime, the kids are home and it's raining and he wants to get his bike fixed. And so he wanted to know if he could use my front porch because there's a cover on it. And I says, well, I just opened the garage door. You're just going to use the garage, you know?
Oh, good. I thought it was the feds finally coming to get you.
No. No. But yeah, it's the other thing that I'm having an issue with, I can't figure out how to you know, the Mini 3, right? It's supposed to, you're supposed to be able to change over and be in auto, or else you can be in manual, or you can be in pro mode, and then you have all the settings. You can dial everything up, down, you know, because I like to do the low light stuff. And the problem is that I set it up here in my office or next to my computers here, turned it all on. You think I could find that? So then the thought occurred to me, well, I went online and I must have looked for an hour last night, anybody to explain the controller as far as how do you get to those settings. And I couldn't. And then I thought, I wonder if you have to take off first, if it has to be running. I don't know. But when
I'm sure it has to be running when you switch it on the controller.
Well, yeah, but I have it here sitting, and I have the copter turned on. I have the controller turned on, and you can see the video of the TV, you know, because it's sitting here, and I just can't get into the other settings. I you know, maybe AZ, if he comes in, he can explain it to me.
Maybe you get, well, I was going to say, maybe you can get up with them outside the live and on the phone and have them talk you through it on the phone or something.
Yeah. I don't know. It just.
Or even come on the Matt show tomorrow night. I'm sure somebody can help you figure it out.
Yeah, it's just kind of frustrating because, you know, one of the reasons I do like the Mini 3 because of the way it flies, and the camera is extraordinary for the size. But if I can't dial it in for night video, you know, I'm still flying the Nano Plus, and that's okay. But the Nano Plus isn't as steady in the sky as the Mini 3.
Well, this is the thing, and I know, and I'm sure some of the people in the chat, they may agree with me, because I'm pretty sure I'm not one that really messes with the settings a lot. But even if you were to go in there and say you got it dialed to the right look, and you went out and shot a ship one night, you're almost going to have to readjust that every time you go fly, because the lighting's always going to be a little different. You might have more light one night and less light another night. So it's not something that you're just going to be able to adjust, and it's just going to be able to stay at that setting. You know what I'm saying? Like when like Matt and all them go out shooting, every time they go out, even if they go out the same time of day, the same place, they always do readjustments because something might be a little off or a little different that day.
Yeah.
Because there might be a certain cloud in the sky that's blocking half the sun. So it's not as bright as it was the time before they were there at that time. So it's not, like I said, so you're going to have to get to know the settings, but you're always going to have to adjust them, especially with night shots. Because like I said, one ship might be not as lit up as another one, so that setting's not going to work for that ship. You know, that's something you got to keep in mind too. I mean, it would be nice if you could dial in the camera for doing night shots and it always worked the same every time. But unfortunately, that's not the way it works.
Yeah. Well, now DJ, my Nano, when I take off at nighttime, it keeps all my night settings. The only thing it doesn't maintain is, you know, for the highest speeds, you have to tap ludicrous mode because otherwise it comes in standard mode, which is slower and doesn't handle the wind situations or move up and down alongside the ship at the kind of speed you want. But as far as the night settings, that pretty much stays on there.
Right, but it's also when you're in auto, I think Alltel's auto adjustment where it's auto adjusting itself and you're not doing it. I think that's just dialed in better than DJI than on the Mini 3.
Right.
It kind of knows it's a little bit better at saying, okay, we need a little bit more light brought in or a little less. Where the DJI, it's almost like you're going to have to fine tune it before each flight. And unfortunately, as fast as those ships go by, that's going to be a little bit of a pain for you, I think, because, I mean, you might get it to where you'll get used to it and you'll be able to do it pretty quick, but you're almost going to have to get down there like 10, 15 minutes before the ship gets there, you know, and get everything dialed in and then throw it up. Or, you know, have it in the air and kind of adjust it as the ship's coming in.
Yeah. And I just like to get there, do my thing and get out of there. Hey, Stan, here's Flying with Stan has joined us on the panel.
Morning, guys.
What's up, Stan?
How much? Hey, where should I look here? Yeah, Paul, I can help you with that setting there. It's really easy. I think you're just missing one tiny little step. once you go into that pro mode, if you just have to click on those controls you see to the left, and that should open it up where you can then scroll your ISO and your you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
your exposure and all that.
The thing of it is, Stan, is I cannot figure out how to put it into pro mode.
You just tap on that auto. There's a little auto thing. It's just a toggle. So when it says auto, you click on it and it will say pro. And then you click on that, it will say auto. So it's just that one little auto thing down there on the bottom right.
Okay, well let me fire it up and you can maybe help me with that, because I spent a lot of time last night trying to figure out what the hell I was doing wrong.
Yeah, it's kind of like the the different modes on the DJI where you can tap on the screen and it just switches it.
Right. It's actually kind of confusing because it means that when you're in pro mode, it looks like you're in auto mode because it says auto. But what it means is you need to click that to go into auto. And the opposite. When you're in auto, it'll show pro, and you think it kind of looks like you're in pro mode.
Oh, I get what you're saying. It's just opposite of whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, let me. I'm gonna fire them both up. I've got.
Yeah, and you're right. For sure, they both need to be on. It needs to be connected, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I couldn't really help Paul with that. I mean, if I was sitting there in his house with him and I had the controller in my hand, I'd be able to figure it out pretty quick. But
yeah, sure, Justin.
With me not having the actual Mini 3, I don't know what the actual, the interface looks like. Because I don't know if you know, but Paul bought this with rear view camera that was in Chinese, and he played with it for like 4 days trying to get it into English. He sent it to me. It took me like 2 minutes.
Well, yeah, us tech guys, it's stuff makes a little more sense when you've played around with a million other little gadgets.
All right. I love Paul though. He tried.
Oh,
I'm linked now. I think yes. Okay. It says GPS signal week. Oh yeah. Okay. So it's in N mode up here in the left hand corner.
Yep. And does it say auto in the bottom right?
No, it says pro.
Right. So tap pro.
Now you're in pro. And it should
now it says auto down there.
Right. But now see to the left. Now tap on those little, see how just to the left of that, just a little bit. There's like the wheels. If you tap that, then it should kind of expand a little bit.
No.
Or no, not the wheels. It's like the exposure right down in the very bottom. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, and all that does is bring me up the slider where I can go +3, 0, +07. That's it.
Maybe you need
it doesn't give me, because I've seen other people where you got all these kind of settings show up.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Let's try that pro again. Try clicking on that auto or pro.
There's auto.
Now tap on those things. Now tap on those things.
Still just the one single line.
That doesn't look right to me. That's weird.
Now, can he grab the menu and scroll it up? Is it like a window that you would scroll up?
Okay, so now what it did was it got dark. There's the TV, it's darker.
Right. Because now you are in pro mode, and now tap on those numbers down in the bottom right. Yep. And now you should get.
Okay, I see ISO 100.
That's it. See, there you
Shutter, go. 180, 160.
See, and you can drag those left and right.
Stay in for the win.
And your ISO can, you boost that way up at night.
Okay, so I'm adjusting it up now. So I'm at 3200 and I'm starting to see the room okay.
Yeah, and then if you lower your shutter. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
My shutter speed, and it gets as I go down, it gets darker.
Right.
Okay, so that little thing, I got to tap on that.
Right, right. And then you tap on the numbers to then bring the thing up. And then you can just tap out in the screen to kind of get rid of that thing. Just tap
Okay.
out in the other area to get rid of that thing. And then you tap on the numbers again to bring it back up.
Okay, so in essence, at nighttime, I want the shutter speed as high as possible or low as possible.
Well, you need to put your ISO up, and then you're going to just need to see where your shutter speed needs to be based on how dark it is and stuff.
Okay, because I'm at 6400 on ISO. ISO. And so then when I slide the next one, which is the shutter speed,
Yeah.
it
Then
gets
it'll get
brighter and brighter
darker,
and brighter. Yeah.
Right, because the ISO is going to bring all your light in, so you got to pump that up at night.
And then down here, what is that? It says 1.3. So it's automatically adjusting it. I see it's changing.
Yeah, I think it sounds like that's your exposure, like you're maybe 1.3 over or 1.3 under.
Yeah, it's a gauge. So now that when I change the ISO down, it's now minus 0.7.
Yeah, see, so it's just telling you that it's telling you that you're minus 0.7 down on your exposure right now.
Okay.
So if you speed up your speed there a little bit, then that should go to like negative 0.3 and then to 0.
Okay, I got you. But I have to do that every time. I got to go to Pro Mode, right?
Well, it'll usually stay.
Or does it
where you left
automatically
last.
stay in Pro Mode when I turn it off?
It should stay where you left it last. It stays in Pro Mode for me all the time.
Okay. That's cool. Well, I'll tell you what, I went on the internet, on YouTube. Nobody explains that. Nobody.
Well, the problem is it's still such a new drone too, Murray. So people haven't gotten all these videos out.
Well, I think that the people that use that are smarter than I am, and they also think that you already understand that, and you already know how to change from auto to Pro Mode or whatever, Now,
Stan, would you kind of, like I said, I'm not really into all the camera crap like everybody else is, like Matt. But wouldn't you? I don't know if I told Murray correctly, but he would kind of have to readjust that stuff every time he goes out because the lighting could be different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Since it's going to stay in the Pro Mode, you have to watch that. There's a couple of settings that can really help you in the settings. There's that overexposure thing that shows you the lines, and that can help you know if you've got it too bright.
Yeah.
If you're in manual focus mode, there's the peaking settings. I love that on my Mavic 2 Pro.
So at any time, if I want to make changes, I can just tap on those down there and they should be there automatically.
Right.
And if for any reason I want to go to fully automatic, I just tap the auto at the bottom.
Exactly.
And then I can tap the auto at the bottom and go back to Pro Mode, right?
Exactly. And you tap the screen to get rid of that thing. You saw that, right? You saw how you can get rid of it. Okay.
Because it's on there now.
Yeah.
Tap the screen, it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then if I tap down here again, it's back on again. All right. Woo!
Good
I
deal.
said stand for the win.
Hey, you know what I want to know now is, can you connect that controller to the Air 2S?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, because nobody's got a video on it.
Well,
no,
somebody said you cannot, that they expect there's going to be an update to do that.
Yeah, right.
But, because what they said was, if you notice, because like I have the smart controller I fly the Air 2S with. When it comes up, you can scroll by and you can go to the Mini 2, the Air 2S, all the different Phantoms or whatever.
Yeah.
And there is no, when you start this up, it just comes to this screen. It doesn't come to giving you to select your aircraft,
Mm-hmm.
Well, you make me feel much better today.
All right, good deal.
So I can shut it down. So have you been flying yours at all, Stan?
I've been flying the hell out of it every day. Yeah.
It's impressive, isn't it?
I am not seeing any of the issues that people are saying with range or anything like that. It's just about exactly the range that my Air 2S gets, maybe even just slightly better.
Yeah.
I fly the same thing a lot, you know, from a place near my house, and so I know exactly where my Air 2S can go, and this thing can get there and maybe just a hair further. And it's just
see,
absolutely
my thought is the Mini 3 is a great flying aircraft, and it's in the same range as far as stability and everything in the air under normal circumstances. But I think the Air 2S handles a little bit more wind.
Yeah.
And it can be a little bit faster and more stable in a higher wind.
Right.
So and being on the water here, I have to take all that into consideration.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, and I would say that the Air 2S is the better one, but it's incredible what they've done with
it is.
I had the Mini 1, and of course, like a week after I bought it, they put out the Mini 2, but the Mini 1's really struggled with wind, had a lot of struggles, but this is just night and day from the Mini 1.
Yeah, I bought the Mini 2 Fly More Combo last summer. And I used it when every year on Thursdays in the month of August, they have what's called Rockin' the Rivers. They have an outdoor concert along
the
city building along the water. And so I would fly that. I find this one is so much even more quieter than the Mini 2.
Yeah, I never had the Mini 2, but this one is super quiet. And it really, it just feels like you're flying an Air 2S or a Mavic 2 Pro. It just is the exact same flying experience. But like you said, it's not going to handle quite the wind.
And here's what I use to hold the props in place. It's just a rubber band.
Yeah, that's all right.
And it does. It holds them, and everything's good.
Justin, you don't fly the FPV, do you?
I don't think Justin.
He must have stepped away.
I think he stepped out of the car. I don't believe he may have an FPV, but I don't think he's flying FPV.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Paul Hodges in his Hawaiian outfit.
Hey, what's happening, guys?
Hey there, Paul.
Paul's headed. Paul is headed to. He's got to fly a couple of aerials. Because the rain and the nasty weather that I got here is headed his way.
Yeah, I know. I got to try and get over to Byron and get it done before the weather hits, eh?
Yeah. How far is that for you to go, Paul?
Oh, 20 minutes, half an hour, something like that. Half an hour, I guess.
Yeah, Paul's busier than a one-arm paper hanger with that.
He is. And you know what, Stan? It does not slow up for anything.
Yeah, that's great.
But Lynn has told me, Lenny said, I'm worried about Paul. He's going to burn himself out if he doesn't ease up a little bit.
Holy mackerel. I thought signs and arrows would just drop right off, but I don't know. The signs are pretty well stopped, but the thing is, I think what's happening right now, what I'm running into is that, there's not a lot of listings going up right now, but I'm trying to get the best of everything out of the listings. So that's why I'm probably be busy doing aerials. Like I got, I had 3 aerials in 2 days, right?
Right.
So I think what they're doing is trying to showcase that property as much as possible in order to sell it because, the market turned, right?
Yes.
Like the market just dropped right off right now. I pulled another sign yesterday that wasn't sold. They just pulled it off the market.
Oh, were you asking for me a second ago?
Yeah. Stan was asking you a question.
Yeah, I was just asking if you fly the FPV.
Oh, no, I don't have any FPV stuff.
I was looking at somebody that had the DJI FPV and they were flying around some boats, you know, and that's my favorite thing is to try to orbit a speeding boat, you know, and I don't do the FPV, but I'm thinking if there's a mode that would make sure that it stayed level, you know, the way the DJI ones do, or the camera ones do, then, you know, that would be pretty cool to fly a really fast drone like that, you know, without worrying about it.
The FPV for DJI, they have a stable mode, eh?
Do they?
Yep. So it works just like ours. Yep.
Oh yeah.
You can go into sports mode, but then if you wanted to go like the regular legit FPV, you'd have to go into acro.
Right.
But if you want to go into like a sports mode on it, it will do, I think, roughly up to 80, 90 miles an hour, no problem.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Now you can build an FPV drone, like Night Train was showing his the other day. You can actually build one that has GPS and everything built into it, where it can fly like a GPS drone. But then when you want to go balls to the wall, you can flip a switch and just go to town. So you can build one like that too, like yeah. Put some money into it.
That's just what I need.
But if you want to get one. But Stan, if you're one that's not really into wanting to build your own or anything, I would just go with the DJI one.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. I don't know. It'd be crazy. I never have a spotter, so it might be tough for me to do.
You and me both, Stan. And my spotter is Mia, and she's sitting in the front seat, just kind of like
right,
vegging out, you know.
But you can. But it's a good drone, and for what it is. Plus, it has an oh shit button that you can push, and it will stop on a dime. Like if you're about to hit something, it actually has a pause button you can hit.
How much are they getting for the DJI FPV drone now?
I want to say they're going between 1,000 to 1,200, somewhere in there.
Yeah, say $1,200.
So if you figure $1,200, that's not bad compared to, you know, the Mini 3s. We just paid $906 US, you know.
Plus the Fly More, you know, so you're right up near there anyway.
Yep, you're right up to around $1,200.
Yeah.
Did you, Dan, did you get your Fly More?
No, still hasn't shipped.
Mine says July the 22nd.
I didn't order my Mini 3 till just about midnight, you know, the night of it that it was put out. I didn't think I was going to want it, but boy, all the features and everything, I had to have it. And but then I ordered the Fly More about 10 days later, so I'm not expecting it till July.
Yeah, because I know people that have gotten the Fly More. They ordered the two together on the same deal. And my mistake, Stan, I could shoot myself. You know, DJI denied me replacing my Air 2S, so they gave me a 25% off coupon.
Yeah, I saw
if I'd ordered the two together. I would have saved I saved the 25% on the 3. I would have saved 25% off the Fly More too.
Oh yeah.
And chances are the order would have been the same order, and they would have come. I'd have gotten it already.
But you're probably worried that would delay your shipping, right? That's why I didn't order the Fly More at the same time.
Well, yeah, but see, I was in contact with them after because they didn't ship it right away. And I says, hey, you know, we've come to an agreement. We have an agreement. You're going to replace it 25%. I used it. This. And after a couple of, all of a sudden, my shipping date shot right up and says, oh, it's shipped.
That's good.
But yeah, I should have. I didn't think. You know?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but any which way you look at it, Paul, you got that thing cheaper than anybody else did.
Yeah.
Actually had to buy it. No, I'm not counting the reviewers that got free units, but anybody that had to go out and buy it, you got it a lot cheaper than they did.
Yeah, I got a discount on it, about $180 off.
So Paul, I heard you just saying yesterday, I think, that you were going to fly your Air 2S. Do you have another Air 2S or you don't have one anymore?
Oh no, what happened is because I was going back and forth with them, I went online and I bought from the DJI store the replacement Air 2S, which comes with no props, no battery, and so I paid $750 for that. And so I got that right away.
Okay, I missed that. Okay, interesting. That's an incredible machine, that Air 2S.
Yep.
If it had variable aperture, it'd be 100% perfect.
Oh yeah, yeah. But my night flights, my go-to drone is the Nano Plus, simply because I don't know what it is about it, but the colors pop and everything is just boom, But if you've ever flown an Autel, especially the Nano, when you're running the sticks, you think you're going up, you got to point it up alongside the ship, and all of a sudden it does this little drifty thing, And so what do? At least I do. I say, okay, well, I got to move it to the left. Well, then it goes past there, and then it goes past, and it does that, and then not enough steam. When that ship's upbound and I got a little bit of a northerly wind coming, it'll just stall out there,
Yeah.
And then I got to try and get in front of the ship by backing up, and it's very slow. And then at nighttime, you don't see the front of the ship that well, so you're kind of got that pucker thing going. It's like, am I far enough around?
Right.
Am I far enough around?
Right. Yeah, hoping that there's no lines or anything.
Right. Right. Filipina is in the chat. Hey, Filipina, Recovery One Dre.
Now, how much is that Fly More kit separately? It's 200, right?
There's 2 of them.
185 or something, or
This is the normal
So just
one.
take.
Sorry.
I was going to say, just take it as you got that for free, Paul, because that's what you said.
oh yeah, that's about basically. I got the Fly More for the price that everybody else paid for.
Did you get the plus one, Paul?
Yes.
The longer batteries, yeah.
No, I did not. I did not.
No.
Because I had a lot of people. I was watching some things, and everybody's saying, how much time are you going to spend in the air,
Yeah.
And because I don't care if it's over the 249, because I'm a 107 pilot. I register everything anyway for the $5,
Me too, yeah.
But and so for the extra money, I thought, no. So I just got the regular batteries coming in the case, but I have an extra case that I had right here from another one. So I've been using that. Then I went out and stupidly bought a hard case, a Sky Treat case, the hard case for it, and I got it. I'm hoping that they do what they said they're going to do. I ordered it so that I would have it before I got the Mini 3. And it got delayed. So then they said it was going to be there like Tuesday the 7th or by the 6th, because I ordered it on the 5th, and they said 2-day shipping. Okay, if you pay $49.
Mm-hmm.
So I paid the case itself was $59.99, and I paid $49 to have it shipped. Okay, so it got delayed till they said maybe Tuesday. Then it got to be maybe Thursday. Then it got to be maybe Saturday. Then I got maybe Monday. And then I got, if you don't get it by the 15th, contact us and we'll issue a refund. In the meantime, it's showing it was shipped out there somewhere, and it was changing shippers like going out of style. It started off with some never heard of before. Then it went to UPS. Then it went to FedEx. Then it went to USPS.
That's
So
weird.
yesterday I called Amazon, and after talking to 2 or 3 people, they passed me along the chain. I explained, I understand, because I just got it like the hour before. I said, I understand, issues, but I paid an extra $49 to get it in 2 days. So what, I don't think that's right. So then the supervisor, she was on there trying to figure out how to refund the extra shipping. And she said, I can't do it. So I'm just going to refund the whole thing. You just keep it. Well, she says, but you'll see it pop back into your account. So I'm waiting to see if it pops back into my account.
Oh, Probably will. That's cool. Is it
before
a
I
good
count
case?
my chickens, you know?
Yeah. Do you like the case?
I'll show it to you.
Does it hold the thing with the sticks on it? That's the key.
Yes, because it's got that bubble top,
Okay.
you know? Um, but you know, using the other case that it comes with, this one, what I like is I can leave the sticks on this, okay, and I can put it over here at an angle so the sticks, you can see the sticks are in there, and then the other drone goes right straight down here. But I can't carry any of the extras with it. You know, I mean, in the zipper pouch, I've got extra strobes, I've got extra things, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I've got a charging cable. But so I ordered this because I'm used to carrying, this is what I grab and grab and go, you know?
Yep. Yeah, that's a nice small one.
And it's not too big, but it's got a place for everything. Batteries, charger.
Yeah.
You know, it's got a well underneath so that you can put your cables or whatever
It
you
lays
want.
down and those sticks don't stick up too much.
Right. Let me show you.
The sticks are so small. I don't know why they didn't give you a second set. It's bizarre.
I ordered a set. They should be here tomorrow.
I don't even think you
Goes in like that.
Yeah.
And that's how much they stick up. But you see the cover, it's got these little stubby knobs on it, right? So the cover goes down and it sits there. It isn't.
Huh. That looks good.
So this cost me $59 on Amazon. It's got a place up here. You can either put cables or you can put filters down here in the bottom in the little recess compartment on the bottom. So for the money, I thought it's a good buy.
Especially if it's zero.
And you know, you just put the latches up and snap down.
Nice.
And it's got a really nice handle on it. Because I like the heavy handle, you know.
Yeah. That's the kind of case I have for all my drones.
Yeah.
I picked up a Pelican 1520, which is it's about as big as you can get and still be overhead compatible, like for flying.
Yeah.
I thought I'd want to put my Air 2S and my Mini 3 in there, you know, together, especially for a trip to Hawaii we're doing. So they were both in one case, but boy, it's kind of too big.
Well, I knew a lot of guys back in my Inspire One days. They all had Pelican cases, the great big with the landing landing gear down, and man, that was like taking a huge suitcase with you, you know.
That's what I have for my Phantom 4. The Phantom 4. It's a gigantic, nice case. You can keep the propellers on and everything.
Yeah. But I'm getting used to carrying just this around, you know, just grab and go, you know.
Yeah, it's so nice having that screen in the controller. I actually had the Fly app crash on me once. I was tapping on that vertical video button, and the Fly app just went away, and then just the thing reset. I could see it reset, and then came back and connected, so I didn't have a trouble. But it was the only, you know. I don't get many crashes on my iPad, you know, when I'm flying the other ones.
Right. So you're happy. I seem to be very happy. It's like I say, I've only flown it 4 times. So the Mini 3 seems to, what I'm amazed at is that when I flew it back the other day, because I did a ship with it just during the regular daytime, it performed great. And I'm flying back, and I usually am looking at the screen and listening and it's over top of me like 20 or 30 feet, and I can't hear it.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, wow. Because I was impressed with the minis, how quiet they were. Because you and I both know the Inspires, it's like having a brass band with you,
Yeah. It's scary loud.
Now, when you flew the Inspire, did you use carbon fiber props?
No. And
I always had the carbon fiber stand, but after I saw some videos of how deadly carbon fibers are, especially the size of those props, I'm thinking, man, if a dog ran up on that thing while it was spinning, I'd cut his nose off, his leg off, or something,
Yeah, and it's a good thing I didn't, because I don't know, you can't see it, but I have a pretty good scar on my arm from when that thing kind of had a mind of its own and was flying backwards into me and my wife. I had to kick it over to the side and then put my hand down to try to stop it, and it whacked me with the propellers.
Wow.
A pretty good gash in my arm. I think that was because of the solar panels. I was right next to a huge field of solar panels, and I think somehow that interfered with the GPS.
Yeah. You never know what's going to screw things up. It could be that. It could be a glitch in a solar tower close to you that all of a sudden did a boom like that or whatever, And Paul's been flying the Inspire 1 now. How long have you had that, Paul?
That?
How long have you had the Inspire 1 now?
How long have I had it?
Yeah.
About a year now, haven't I?
About a year, yeah. And he gets excited flying that as much as we did, but his go-to drone for all of his videography and photos for real estate is still the Phantom 4 Plus Pro.
Yeah, it's tough dragging out those monster drones now, Phantom 4, crap, it's like 10 times bigger than.
Yeah. Paul's got 2 Phantom. Well, now he's got 3 of the Phantoms.
Yep. I know sky's not looking promising there, Paul.
Yeah, well, it came through here fast. It was kind of, when I first got up at 7 o'clock, it was halfway sunny, hazy. And then within a matter of minutes, all of a sudden, here comes the rain.
I think it's
hopefully I get the farthest aerial done today anyway, so.
I think it's supposed to be a scorcher here in Boston today.
Yeah, it's right now it's only 78 degrees, but it feels like 85.
Yeah. Oh, I guess it's tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm going to jump off. Thank you.
Hey, Stan, it was great talking to you. You're always welcome, my friend, because you're so knowledgeable, and thank you so much for helping this old guy figure that out.
No problem. Glad to help. All right, take care.
Okay, bye-bye, Stan.
Oh, man.
Are you still out fighting with the neighbors there, Justin?
The neighbors?
People in the area. Anybody giving you a hard time?
Oh, no. Not yet. I'm sure that's coming, though, with the heat. What are you doing in my yard, boy?
You haven't had anybody come out with a gun yet, have you?
Fortunately, no, I have not. I'm sure at some point that'll happen.
Well, like I say, I still think you should be talking to your boss, even if you got to have the stickers made yourself. It just says inspection division,
People are morons, though. Just like earlier. Well, no, I did have one this morning, matter of fact. I was over in walking around the trailer park, checking some meters on a house, and a guy just randomly drives by on a golf cart with his dog and says, "Can I help you?" I said, "I'm with the gas company." Now, mind you, I'm literally standing right next to my truck where it says Florida Public Utilities in big letters, and he's consultants on the side, and he still has to ask me, "What am I doing?"
Well, the public utility thing, I think takes a toll on you personally, because it's like, well, those are all utilities, so maybe this guy knows something, or maybe this guy's doing something, and it should be in big letters. Gas inspection. That's it. Gas inspection.
What trips me out is the amount of people that think I'm there to turn off the damn electric or water.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they'll ask me, "Are you from the city?" And I'm like, no. Like, when has the city ever said Florida Public Utilities? That literally will say, if you're in Haines City, it will say Haines City Truck. It'll have the city, crest on it.
Yeah, but what it says on the side though, Justin, is it says utilities, and that's what you've got on the side of your truck, utilities.
I know, but
And people aren't smart enough to deduct utilities. Well, they lump it all together.
pretty much that's the gist of it.
I think a great big inspection on the back quarter panel of your truck should inspection division or whatever.
Oh, they still wouldn't be smart enough to read that. Only because they ask me, "Where are you from?" And I'll be standing right next to my truck, and it will say what company I'm from. And they'll still ask me, "Where are you from?"
Yeah, I would, for the cost, Paul Hodges could probably print you a couple signs and send them to you. Say, gas inspection division,
I do need something made because people ask.
What's that, Paul?
On the back says "kiss my ass." And just point to it if they ask you a question.
That's right, kiss my ass. or be funny, kiss my gas pipe.
Yeah, suck on my pipe. No, I do. I need to get one that says the gas technician.
Yep, a gas inspection.
One.
I used to have the equipment to do the vinyl.
I need to get that gas.
We're losing you, Justin.
Is that better?
That's better.
You said you used to. You used to do the vinyl.
Yep, I used to do the vinyl that was on a roll, and you just self-fed it through.
I could have my sister make me some because she has a Cricut machine like Paul has.
There you go. She could make it for you. Just put it on there and see if it makes a difference.
I gotta call her anyway and find out how she's doing. So all that other crap happened.
Just tell her what color you want the vinyl. To tell her you'll pay her for the vinyl, but yeah.
Yeah, because people like to just ask you all kinds of stupid shit. They'll come out and bitch at me because their gas bill's too high when I have nothing to do with that.
Yep.
They'll come out and yell at me, "Why isn't my cell phone working?" I don't fucking know. Find something to yell at me about. When the real cocky ones pull up to me, though, that aren't even like, they'll be like, "Can I help you?" I'll be like, "No," and I'll just keep walking. That's what I did to that lady the other day. She got all pissed off. She comes out of her house. I was at her neighbor's house, and she comes up running out of her house. "Can I help you with something? That's my neighbor's yard." I said, "No, man." No, I just kept walking. And she goes, "Excuse me, can I help you?" I said, "No." I just kept walking.
Wayne B, how you doing? Wayne B has joined the panel. Joined the chat. Filipina's hanging right in there, and she's saying hello to everybody. Thank you, Leela. Lila. I guess is it Leela or Lila? It's Lila.
I would probably be Lila.
What's up, Paul?
The dam. It's raining.
Oh, man, you drove all that way and it's raining? Well, you could sit there and wait a couple hours, Paul.
So I don't know. I still won't be there for about 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But I got a sign to put up.
Well, at least you can put the sign up in the rain, Paul. Yeah, he's got a sign to put up, and then he's gonna head. I think he's gonna write it.
No.
Are you gonna write off the aerial, Paul?
It stopped raining already.
Oh, okay.
Look, he's sitting there complaining about rain. Why, Robert Glazier, AZ, Steve, they would all love to be dancing naked in the rain.
No.
They've been praying for rain for the last 2 years.
AZ just popped in the chat and says, "Good morning, Paul's, Justin, and everyone in the chat."
What's up,
I can't chat because I'm on the phone. Some guy pulled up beside me going down the highway here, waving at me. I don't know who the fuck it was.
Maybe it was the weatherman.
Yeah. Big white pickup truck with a tonneau cover on it, but I know a guy's got a big white truck, but it's a new one. That was a little bit older one. This one here with a tonneau cover on it. I don't know. Somebody that knew me.
It's one of the realtors as Paul's giving him the finger while he's driving by. Oh, no, you.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't know who you're gonna run into, Paul.
I wish I could send some of this rain over to Robert Memphis because we got plenty of it. But see, that's what I was telling Robert the other day when we were talking about it. And, he was in my live chat talking to me about it. And I was like, the downside to you guys getting a crap ton of rain at one time, it causes flash floods and mudslides and everything else. I was like, so you guys kind of need to get it gradually because you get too much at one time and then it causes more problems.
Right.
Because especially up in Northern California where all those forest fires have been, there's no root systems anymore that hold those sides of those hills in place. And so when it rains a lot, man, it just causes massive mudslides because there's nothing there anymore holding that soil in place.
Filipina says, we must have missed some people in the chat. Let me go up here and look. Yeah, Dre was here.
Or he was getting excited about his mini story.
Filipina says she loves the sound of her drone. Okay, it's Lila and it's pronounced Lee, Leela. Leela. Yep, that's her name. Leela.
But don't ask me because I couldn't pronounce quiche the other day and everybody gave me shit for like an hour for that.
Yeah, I know. I remember that.
So don't ask me to pronounce a word. But I was pretty sure it was Leela.
AZ said 5 minutes of rain in Phoenix and it all goes underwater.
That's what I'm saying. Like they need rain, but gradually. Like they don't want to get too much at once. Flash floods in the desert are no joke, man. They're dangerous.
Yeah.
You'll be sitting and it'll be like hot and just dry, and all of a sudden here comes a wall of water out of nowhere. Just washes a road away and cars and houses and everything else.
JD is in the chat, says hello to Filipina, Wayne, Dre, and AZ.
He can't talk to me right now because he's in litigation to sue me.
Oh, okay. So
for elderly abusing Mike and blocking.
Elderly abuse. Okay, I got it.
Because I accidentally timed him out yesterday. So apparently I wrote in the chat to get this handicap mofo out of here and then blocked him.
Yeah, AZ said the ground there is too hard. It will not absorb any water. So any kind of water at all is right on top.
Well, there's a lot of dry lake beds too, and that clay, yeah, it's a natural barrier for water. That's why when you build a lake, like if you have a lake put in your house and you're in the desert, you have to have it lined with some kind of clay. Otherwise, it will just constantly drain into the ground. There's a lot of dry lake beds in Southern California and Nevada. Yeah, it doesn't suck up any water. It just creates a lake. Like my dad had a big lake in front of his house in Southern California in the desert, and he ended up having to get it relined with clay because it kept draining too quick.
Really?
So he had to let it drain completely, and then a tractor had to come in with a load of clay, and then they lined the whole bottom of his thing with clay and then refilled it. Well, that's like what people don't realize too, Paul, is Vegas actually has one of the most extensive like drainage systems in the country, like one of the most advanced drainage systems in the country, because they have to deal with that problem that when it rains, it will completely flood Vegas because they're down in a dry lake bed. Vegas was built down in a dry lake bed, so the water has nowhere to go. So they have actually poured hundreds of millions of dollars into one of the most advanced drainage systems for the city in the country. Because of that. And it doesn't rain there very often, but when it does, it can cause a lot of problems. So that's why they ended up having to do that. And that's what's crazy, is they've had to pour hundreds of millions of dollars into a water drainage system just so it can, when it rains a couple times a year, the water has somewhere to go. And there's actually these drainage canals are huge, and they actually is a huge homeless population that lives down in them. And they have to go down there and evacuate them out every time it starts raining because it will completely drown them if they don't.
Raining again.
But you could drive an 18-wheeler into their drainage tunnels. They're so large.
Paul says it's raining again.
Yeah, I'm just in Lambeth right now, so. Damn it. Well, it's not raining hard, so. Oh, I hope it's not raining when I get there. I'm still about 10 minutes away or better. Well, I had to stop get fuel this morning, and then also I had to pick up some special signs to take with me, so to put up. So I had to go to the agent's house. He said, "I'll pay you extra if you go pick them up for me. I forgot to drop them off."
No kidding.
Oh well, yeah, paying me extra anyway to put them up. So fucking wind blowing too. Ugh, damn it!
Oh, I gotta clean my truck out today. It's dirty. Armor
Okay.
all it. Need to go armor all it, vacuum it out and everything. I'm gonna do that the last hour. I'm gonna go back to Winter Haven and go to the car wash because there ain't crap around here. Plus I gotta drop some paperwork off, so. I'll leave here about 4 o'clock, 3:30, 4. Well, it hasn't gotten any hotter yet. It's still 85 out. So.
Really?
Yeah, but I guarantee by noon, 1 o'clock, it's probably going to be in the 90s. But every great once in a while, even in the summertime, we'll get a random ass cold front that will come up from where you guys are at, come all the way down here. It happens a couple times a year. During the summertime, we'll get a nice cool day where it'll be like 65, 70, and all of a sudden it'll go right back up again. Because every once in a while, a random ass cold front will come down from where you guys are at up north, and we'll make it all the way down here, push all the hot, humid air out. But we're in the middle of, just started our hurricane season like 2-3 weeks ago, so that's 6 months long, so we're not even close to being done with that. Let's hope nothing happens this year.
Hurricane season can't be too much fun.
No, because you'll get a lot, like the last few years, we've gotten a lot of close calls, because like I said, Florida sticks out in the ocean like a sore thumb, but every single hurricane the past 2-3 years is just like, it's almost like we've had like a deflection shield around Florida. It's either gone around us, or it went back out in the ocean, or it completely went around us and went up into Texas and Mexico area up in the Gulf. So, but like I said, we're overdue for a big one, and at some point it's going to happen. I mean, you're not going to have a 20-30 year stretch without a major hurricane. It's going to happen at some point.
Yeah, sun's out here now, Paul.
It's just pouring right now. I won't be flying in this.
But the last major ones we had were back in 2005. I wasn't here, but that was when they got all 3 of them in a row within a month. They got 3 hurricanes in a row. But we had one about 5 years ago, was Irma, but that was only a Cat 3. That wasn't a huge one, but it was big. It didn't do too much damage. I'll tell you, being in a hurricane is one wicked thing. I'll tell you that. It's scary. Even that Cat 3 was a little scary, because all you hear is howling wind nonstop, and like I said, tornadoes can sprout in hurricanes. So
Justin, how long do they usually last?
It can be anywhere between 6 to 12 hours. It really depends on how fast the storm's moving and how big it is.
So it isn't like a good sized thunderstorm that just goes through in an hour or two.
No. And that's the thing, is it can stall out and just sit over top of you, right? There's times where they can just stop and they'll stall out over the ocean. And so the eye might be right out on the ocean, but you're getting all the waves and everything. And I want to say the west side of the storm is the most dangerous. Like that's where the strongest winds are. It's either I want to say it's the west side of the storm is the most dangerous. It might be the east side, but I can't remember exactly.
Well, everybody has seen the pictures of, the people that own boats, and the boats end up like quarter mile on land. And
oh yeah.
Hey Paul, I gotta make
what's that, Paul?
I gotta make a phone call.
Okay, buddy.
Believe it or not, though, Paul, people will stay in their boats on the docks during those hurricanes. They'll tie them up and they'll put excess line on it. That way, when the water rises, the boat will be anchored down, but it will have extra line to compensate for the water. But that's freaking nuts to me. But there's people that do it.
Wow.
And it's like, and it's people that live on the boats. And that's the thing is, when these things are like a week out. So it's like, why don't you get in your boat and go up the coast? Like,
And go someplace, yeah.
I wouldn't want to sit through that. Screw that. It's scary enough being in a brick house during a hurricane, let alone a damn boat on a dock. But that's how a lot of people's boats capsize too, is they'll tie them down to the docks, but then the water will rise, and then the tie downs, get to their stretched max. They'll get to their max stretching capability, and the water will just keep rising and rising, and it just pulls the boat right under.
Wow.
But yeah, there's people that actually stay in those boats. And then that's like another thing I said, I don't understand why Florida allows trailer parks. I think that's the stupidest thing ever. I think RV parks, yes, because they can tell people, get your RV, get the hell out of here. But trailer parks, I don't understand why they allow those, because anything above a Cat 3 or higher, they'll tell you not to be in your mobile home because they know it will just shred in the wind. It's like, why do you, if you have such strict building codes on newer houses, why the hell do you allow people to put trailers in?
Yeah.
And I don't see why insurance companies would allow that. I mean, if I was an insurance company, I wouldn't want to insure a trailer park here in Florida. I mean, you're just asking to have to pay out millions of dollars when it does happen, because it's not a matter of when it happens.
That doesn't make a lot of sense for sure.
Because newer houses, like the one I live in and all those, they're not just stick homes. Like, all the walls are cinder block, and then they build around the cinder block. Like all the newer homes, all the walls have to be solid cinder block. So when you see houses going up, you'll see cinder block walls being put up, and then they'll build the inside walls around that, and they'll put siding and stuff out on the side of the cinder block to make it look like a regular house. But there's a reason why they do that. That's because of the hurricanes. They're required to. But shit, I mean, if you had enough money, you could build a house that could easily withstand a Cat 5 if you had the money. Because you could put, 10-inch thick solid reinforced concrete walls in your house if you wanted to. And that's not going to go anywhere. I don't care how strong the winds are. But the most vulnerable part of any home is the roof. And that's another thing. I don't know why they allow overhangs on roofs, and why they don't make them flush to the building so the wind has nothing to catch. Because that's a lot of times what rips roofs off during hurricanes. It gets up under the overhangs of the roof, and just the wind grabs onto the roof and just rips it right off like a tin can. I'd much rather have my roof flush to the walls, so the wind doesn't have nothing to grab. But you do, Paul, want to keep a window semi-cracked during a hurricane, because it helps regulate the pressure in the house. Because you don't want to be like completely sealed up. So what you want to do is crack a window like about an inch.
You crack the window that's away from the storm, right?
Right. You just want to crack one just enough to where the air pressure,
like it vents.
Because the pressure from the storm can actually blow your windows out, because it will build up pressure in your house because of the way the natural currents of the storm. So some people will put like a towel in one of their windows, and they'll just crack it just a little tiny bit. Not enough for any water or anything to get in, but they'll crack it just a tiny bit.
Right.
At least that's what I've always been told to do, because of the barometric pressure or whatever of the storm. Like I said, we're overdue for one, that's for sure. I'm just hoping we can make it through this season, okay?
When was the last when did you have the last one?
I want to say it was 2017. And then before that, I want to say it was like 2005 or 2006 they had one. They had 3 of them in a row back in 2005. They had 3 major ones within a month. Like right after one would hit, a week and a half would go by, another one would hit, and another week and a half went by, and they had a third one hit, and it just completely ravaged Florida. People were out of power for like 2-3 months, some people.
Oh my.
We were out of power for a week when the one in 2017 came through. We were out of power from Sunday all the way to the next Sunday. And then all of a sudden, this big old convoy of like 100 trucks from a Canadian Power Company, they come rolling through our neighborhood, man. They just started turning on every street. They were ripping things up, putting new wires up, and they had all the power up and running probably within a couple hours after they got there. They were really nice guys too. They were all from some Canadian power company up in Canada that came down to help out for the storm. They come.
JD just put in the chat, good grief, turning into a third world country. First, my power went off and on this morning. Now the city has knocked on the door saying they're going to be shutting the water off for about an hour or so while they're doing some work.
Oh, why, JD? You just didn't pay your water bill.
I see the heat out there in there was a news article, Death Valley National Park. A Southern California man was found dead in Death Valley National Park after apparently running out of gas and getting out to walk in the scorching heat. Yeah. Park visitors found the body of David Keller on Tuesday. A park statement said Keller, 67, of Huntington Beach, was about 2.5 miles from the vehicle and apparently was walking toward Furnace Creek Park. He was found dead 30 feet from the State Route I-90, but State Road I-90 highway has been obscured by terrain and a mesquite tree that had fallen across the road. Keller had been reported missing, but a park ranger spotted a lone vehicle in Arizona parking lot on June the 11th and remembered it from 3 days earlier, the park said. It was registered to Keller.
See, that's like when we used to go out, talking to Robert about that the other day, you know, when we used to go out 4x4 and going off-roading and stuff, yeah. We never went with just one car. We always went with at least 2 trucks or like 2 sand rails or like multiple dirt bikes.
Right.
It was just for that reason. And we always had water, extra gas. It's just people go out there and they just don't understand the terrain. And they get themselves into situations like that. Like, I'm sorry, but if you were out riding around in the desert, you should have had water and gas. It doesn't even matter if you're just on a highway going through the desert. You should have at least 2-3 gallons extra gas, water, all that stuff in your trunk ready to go. Because there's so many people that take these, like, you know, they're highways, they're paved roads, but they go for, 50, 60 miles. There ain't nothing around. And not very many cars go up and down it, but they'll take that road to, cut through or go somewhere. And then all of a sudden they break down and nobody knows where the hell they're at. They didn't tell anybody where they were going.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of times it's just irresponsibility on the person's part because they didn't plan very well. Like, you should tell people where you're going. You should have plenty of water in your car, all that stuff.
Quote unquote, a crumpled note inside Keller's vehicle said, quote, out of gas.
Especially if you don't know where you're going out there. I mean, you could get lost. And
Well, especially
you know,
Death Valley. Doesn't it get to be like 130, 140 degrees?
I think their highest record was 136. So, I mean, it's nothing for it to get to 115, 120. I mean, that's pretty standard out there in the dead of summer.
Yeah, and what the report also said that the ground search for Keller had been limited by temperatures topping over 120 degrees.
Yeah, it can get pretty wild out there. You got to be careful.
Yeah. Nothing to play with, that's for sure. Lynn Ann is here. Lenny. JD says, I had to choose RC parts or utilities. Yeah, AZ said, heat here is not a joke. Very serious if you don't know how to handle it. JD says, okay, we're going to pause for Justin's rant. Ha! JD, you're funny. Yeah, well, I was very happy that I was able to figure out, or with help, I was able to get.
I'll be back in a second, Paul.
Okay, to get some help this morning from my good friends there that is knowledgeable on how to reset the controller for the Mini 3. And Dre popped in. Filipina's still here, I think, flying with Stan. Stan actually came on the screen this morning and helped explain the new Mini 3 Pro controller to me, how to find settings. And thank you again, Stan, if you're watching. Wayne B, hi all, how you doing? Lenny's here. Yeah, AZ Filipina said that AZ the Philippines are so hot too. Yes, it was nice to see Stan on the panel, but he really helped me, Filipina. AZ, thank you. AZ says, told you always call me anytime you have any issues or questions, Paul. Lynn told me to make sure to take care of you. Well, thank you, AZ. And I know Lenny's always kind of watching out for me, but she tells me all the time that I do everything so perfect and that it isn't that necessary to really keep an eye on me, is it, Lenny? Yeah, Paul Hodges is I think he might be doing a sign. I don't know what he's up to. He said had to make a phone call. Yeah, it's real high humidity in the Philippines, I would imagine, Filipina. Humidity is pretty high here right now. It's only 78 degrees, but it feels like 85. Yep. David AZ is always there for everybody. If you need any questions answered about the drone or other things, David's always there. Yep. So what I'm thinking is maybe we're just gonna call it a day here. We will be on again later. I think Little Llama Laura Thursday. Does she do a Thursday show? Don't know. But I think I'm going to call it a day and say goodbye to everybody. Thank you for being here. We'll be on again this evening, and Paul will probably join us then. So everyone take care, and we'll see you all again next time. Bye for now.
Ending it, Paul?
Yep, we're going to end it.